Thank you to Chef for your generous donation on Patreon. If you'd like to join them in their generosity, the link to my Patreon page is in the description.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah, we're coming back here, Caleb. Caleb.
Interrupting my Phoenix Wright.
Stop playing Phoenix Wright, Caleb. Don't make me use up more of this designated loving lotion.
Oh, God.
Okay. Caleb pointed this out when we first got in the show. By the way, you're listening to all of the above here on K-Rock, Kansas City, MKC, radio for Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But the designated loving lotion.
That's Jacob and I'm Caleb.
Yeah. Usually this thing is like kind of full, kind of whatever.
It was like maybe someone used it like twice.
Yeah, and now it's like almost half empty. What did you do, Graveyard Shift? What did you...
We found a heart with Greg and what's her name?
Campbell. It's a
Campbell.
guy.
Campbell. Greg and Campbell. Oh. Using the loving lotion.
Using that loving lotion.
Other people got to use this place, man. Hope they clean.
I found a fork.
Yeah, they didn't clean.
Yeah, I don't know what the fork... It was a clean-ish fork. I touched it barely just enough to get it out of my way. Man, I don't want to deal with that. I ain't want to deal with that. I don't want to touch that right now. But hey, yeah, so this is, to date the show, this is October 23rd.
2014.
Yeah, because Lord knows
Dating.
this is going to be on for a while after this is done. I know this is the end of week 9 for school, for this school. There are 16 weeks if you count finals week.
Yeah.
And we're not doing a show finals week because it's finals week.
No one's going to listen to us.
No one's going to listen, and we need to use that time.
Yeah.
But, so, that being said, this is episode 10. Yeah, that does work.
Yeah. Episode 10.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of these things episodically. I don't know why. I didn't do that with warm malt liquor, but then again, sometimes...
This show is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, a lot of the time when I was uploading stuff for warm malt liquor onto YouTube, which if you don't know, you can watch the show or at least listen to it on YouTube post-show. This is live, recording it. Excuse me. Tums.
What? You always yell at me that I'm not in the mic.
I yell at you because you're not in the mic. I yell at you for messing with your mic. We do it before we're recording.
No. This is what they tune in for. Just me screwing around with the mic.
Yeah. But for warm malt liquor, I didn't. When I would do a lot of the times, and this kind of translated into the editing for all of the above for a while, I would section it off from, I'd do the beginning, middle parts, and then the end. And then I would also upload sometimes I would upload the full show. You want me to see your computer or something?
No, I'm trying to position where I'm still in front of the mic. Yeah, I can look at my computer at the same time.
Trying to play Phoenix right while we're on the show?
Maybe.
Come on, man.
Fine, I'll shut
I
it down.
know it's a good game. I have it. I have the real one.
You making fun of my emulator.
Hey, I got yelled at for it while I was at work one time. Fuad got on. He was like, heresy, because I said the word emulator. I don't know, but...
It's because they sell the systems.
I know.
If everyone used emulators, they'd be out of business.
Yeah. But yeah, so for warm malt liquor, what I would do is I would section off a piece by piece, cut them up into parts, and then upload the parts individually, and then sometimes I'd do the big long show. And I'd have to cut them into parts initially because I had to cut out the music. But, even sometimes in the early days, like, that still didn't work. There'd be... I would have the camera in here and I would have it filmed there, or if there was a person over there, then it would be further back. And then when I had 3 people in here, it'd be like way down there.
Wouldn't really work then, would it?
Yeah, it didn't work that well for that. Eventually, I just ditched the camera because what I would do is I would try to keep in some of the fun in between parts, and then some of the fun in between parts weren't fun.
As you heard, if you were listening to the old one,
Yeah.
you could kind of tell that they would start to fight.
But sometimes there were funny parts. Like, there was one moment, we weren't even on the air, and there was a coaster for, like, something called the B Room. And we were like, oh, what is this? And then Nate picked it up and was like, doesn't work that well. B Room. You said a broom. Yeah. Yeah, that was generally our reaction.
No.
No.
Nate's listening. Shame on you. Shame.
Mahogany. But so I would have to cut out the songs, and what I would do when I had the video is I would get the audio you're listening to right now and sync it up with the video, so that the in-between parts used, video audio, but on air it had this kind of audio where you can hear everything we're saying and it all sounds amazing. But not only was that inconsistent, but during the breaks, I like to listen to the music, because what's the point of playing music when you're like, okay, here's this song, and then silence. So
not even the sound of silence.
Yeah, which is a good song, by the way. I like that.
I know, it was playing when I got into your car, I think. Or it was playing on the way here.
It was playing when we were crossing the bridge by Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was playing during that part. But
carpooling.
That's the kind of memory I have. Well, I'm coming here for class. You have no reason to be here other than this.
Nope.
So there's really no reason, even if you had a car, for you to be driving all the way out here. Unless you just really didn't want to wait the extra hour and 15 minutes.
I sit with Nate, talk about things.
So, unless you have some sort of serious contention, I don't...
Nope, not really.
Neither do I. But, so yeah, I would cut them into parts and upload them separately. Try to keep those funny individual parts, but I just got kind of tired of using the camera, and I would forget it sometimes. So I just kept it to audio, but I would still section it off. So if you watch on YouTube, you'd notice, if you ever did, you'd notice that in between the breaks, I'd introduce a song, and then it would cut to like a picture of something. And then if it's a section, you would only see the picture for like a second or two. And then when you go to the next section, it would start with that picture, then go into it, and then end on another picture. And in the meantime, it'd usually just be one picture all the way through, just a picture of the people on it, because we don't have a graphic made yet. But these sections, eventually when it came to all of the above, for some reason I just stopped doing that. I think a summer of not doing a show made me not want to cut them into segments anymore. I don't know, I might, if you want me to do it, I can start doing that again. But there was
I'm just going to go with no, because that's a lot of work on your part, and we don't really do much that would interest people.
Yeah, I mean, that does give me the opportunity to, like, get...
we're off air in this room.
Well, I don't mean the camera. I mean sectioning it off so that instead of uploading 1 hour-long video, you have, like, 8 or some amount of, like, 11-minute videos.
Well, you're going to have to start doing that when we move.
Yeah, when we move, I have to do that. And I won't really be putting any editing work into that. It'll just be because they'll be already cut up. Because we record in 11-minute segments there. But so for some reason for this show, I just did not start doing it, but I still kept in the picture breaks. Every time I'd do a cut, I'd slam in a picture, and I would say, well, I'm going to section it off, and then by the time the next week came around, I still hadn't done it. So for a good amount of time, these huge chunks of shows, they would have random pictures in the middle of all the breaks. Well, eventually, I just gave into the fact that I wasn't doing it. And I can start again, sectioning them off if you want. Like I said, whatever. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I generally, if I re-listen to a show, I just pull up the whole thing and just listen to it.
Yeah. what I've started doing now is I just. Oh, I didn't know what that sound was, but
Fiddling with something
but I
behind my computer.
yeah, I just didn't know what it was, but so for this one, I just stopped doing the pictures, and so now when we cut to a music break, and I don't know if you noticed this, but as the show's progressed, I start to like try to play the show as we're doing just try to play the next song while we say the outro.
Yeah.
Which is how radio people do it. Funny thing about that, but that gets tricky when you're trying to avoid copyright problems. So I just have it fade out, and then it fades back in when we start talking in the next one. So there's no real break. It's just, thank you for listening. Oh, no. Hey, welcome back. And then there you go. You just hear the first part of like the first like 5 seconds of one song, and then like the last ending note of the last song in the break. And that's just how I've been doing it. So you can listen to those. They are hefty chunks of shows, but they are worth listening to for entertainment, and it's something good to put behind. I know when you listen to podcasts a lot, you play them while you're doing something else, or if you're playing a video game, you just want something going on in the background, or if you want to listen to us and then just pretend like we're in the room actually listening to
filler.
you. Filler, yeah. Well, even if you find us funny and you just want a good hour-long chunk of us talking to you, that's good. So you can go to YouTube.
Share us with the whole family.
We've got youtube.com//Decker-Link.
How many Annabelle eyes are around this studio?
Well, however many masks there were, times 2.
That has no context for anyone who does not know.
Yeah. There's just a bunch of masks.
From the movie Annabelle.
Yeah. It's weird. So, yeah, and you can also text us here at the station. It's 816-287-0090. It's also under the player, usually at the bottom of the page somewhere. You good?
Ugh, it's cold.
You're cold? You have a cold?
I have a cold.
Oh. No, that's not good. Don't get too close to the mic.
At least it's better than the Love and Lotion that they... I got louder. The Love and Lotion that's almost empty. Halfway empty.
Because I would notice that every time you'd see me raise your volume, you'd get closer to the mic. So it would go from, I can barely hear you, to, oh my God, get out of my ear. So I'm just going to raise
you get one or the other.
So I'm just going to raise the audio. You stay back for the sake of the health of many people.
I can get you sick over the internet.
No, not these people, like the other people who have shows.
I don't care about them. I care about these people.
That's why I'm upping your audio so that you can be actually heard. And you tend to recline just naturally. And I don't like yelling at you all the time. God dang it.
Dang it. All right. We've been talking for a while about technical things, I guess.
Yeah, just sort of a general chat. It just feels like a chatty day. I mean, I don't have anything specific I want to talk about for the next 2 hours. Do you?
I have 2, maybe 3. The third one, it was kind of hard to get the information, what they were trying to say across, so I cut it. But I do have 2 articles.
I think, wait a minute.
That I pulled up.
I think I actually do have one. Because this week is my week to
come up with the
articles at the end.
Yeah.
And there was one that I found that I was considering doing that stupid thing where we're like, turns out they weren't 23, they were 24. Ha ha, you lose. Or something like that, which, by the way, that's an exaggeration. If that ever winds up being how it's run, no.
Oh, I also have the question.
Oh, yeah. What's the question this week?
What's red and bad for your teeth?
Find out at the end of the show. Is it all of the above?
You're at K-Roots.
Us communists.
Commies.
As commies.
That scared my grandma so much because I did read the Communist Manifesto.
Because you read it?
In high school. Yeah, I read it.
I still remember there was one time.
It's like a pamphlet. It's not that big.
Yeah. I will tell this story when we get back. I'll tell a story when we get back. I do have an article that I found while I was looking for articles that I just thought it needed its own thing. So we got 3 articles and 1 story.
We're also, if doing the continuation of the Dissecting.
The epic rap battles.
Yeah.
So actually we have a ton of stuff to talk about, so what am I yammering about technical stuff for? Let's go to music.
We got things to do. Come on.
Let's go to music. Let's go to music. The first song I'm going to play for you is Stereo Love by Edward Maya and Vicky Jigulina.
What?
Jigulina.
How do you spell that?
Jigulina.
Oh.
Jigulina.
Wow.
Edward Maya and
they need phonetic pronunciations.
So that's the first one. The second one's going to be Gym Class Heroes Stereo Hearts featuring Adam Levine.
That's what I thought the first one was. Like before you said the
Stereo?
The Stereo Hearts.
Yeah. The Stereo Love and then Stereo Hearts. I don't have any other stereo songs.
Lots of stereos.
I don't have any other stereo songs, but the last song of the break's going to be the Numa Numa Dance by Ozone. Just because the first 2 songs are kind of like, songs, and it's good to get the energy up. So, thank you for listening.
You guys have to be energetic because we're not really
We're
today.
not. We're just sort of not. We're just sort of chatting today. So, thank you for listening. My name is Jacob. I'm Caleb. And have a good one.
What? Oh. From that, we know what the Levin lotion's used for.
Welcome back to All the Above here.
Oh, yeah.
All of the above here. Okay, we can see you in case you're doing it. PM. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff to go through all of a sudden. Let's do it.
We didn't realize we had.
Yeah. First, I didn't know you had so many articles. First things first, I said I was going to tell my story. It's not really a story as much as it is a statement with follow through.
So story.
Yeah. But I was at Perkins one night, and I had just helped Nate and his dad film for one of the I don't remember what the group is, but it's basically the Creationist Science Organization, CSA almost. I don't know.
I don't know
but
what they call it.
I was helping like do videography because that's kind of my thing. Kinda. I was working a board, but we were at Perkins because that's where we were convening for that night. It was like midnight at a Perkins, and
sounds like a drug deal.
Yeah, at the back lot of a Perkins, all these creationists show up.
Or the beginning to a really weird joke.
A group of creationists walk into a Perkins. Michael Jackson. I don't know, but anyway, and a lot happened there. But the main sticking point of the story is that Nate. This is a Nate story. Nate, and I might have already told you this. Nate got into an intense discussion and debate with an old man veteran from either Korea or Vietnam. I think Vietnam.
Yeah, Korea, he'd be a bit older.
Yeah. So a Vietnam veteran about the validity of the Communist Manifesto.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Nate was on the defense, by the way, if that had to be said.
Of the Communist...
Of the Communist Manifesto.
Why? Like, I can get, like, arguing it, defending it, and whatnot sometimes, but not depending with who.
Like you were saying in the breaks, so one of your older relatives got
my grandma.
Your grandma got really scared because you read the Communist Manifesto in school.
Yeah, she
just read it. It's a pamphlet.
Yeah,
but
it's like maybe half an inch thick.
Yeah, so
she was born during the Red Scare. So
yeah, and this guy was serving during the Red Scare.
Yeah.
I mean, from the 50s to the 80s, That covers multiple generations.
And a bit of the 90s,
And a bit of the 90s, and even before the 50s, before the 30s. Even before then, the communist, like, ever since the revolution, there were multiple communist scares before the one that we identify as being post-World War II. Yeah, there were multiple ones. So there are many generations of Americans that just know communism is horrible, but this specific one, this man served against it, literally, in the military.
Your domino effect and whatnot.
Yeah, the Truman Doctrine and all that stuff. But it was such a weird argument because I'm sitting next to Nate, right?
Hoping, like,
I'm just like, I hope this man the vet, he is legally allowed to carry a gun, probably. And he was not happy. To Nate, it was a debate. To this man, it was an attack on America.
It was an attack on his friends dying.
Yeah.
And
so,
which he got enough of.
When he came back, let alone his mistreatment since he got back. That still annoys the crap out of me, how we don't treat our veterans properly. And so he is so mad. And Nate's is like, well, in theory,
you're going to get hit or shot.
Something bad is going to happen, and I'm next to you. I'm either going to get hit or I'm going to get splatter, and I don't want either of those.
And I'm going to have to fill out a police report and...
It's not fun. I've done that before. It's a blank. It's like, tell me the things and then lines.
It's like an essay you get.
It's essentially an essay, and I am not in school right now. I'm not dealing with this.
I don't want to write about how you were debating the Communist Manifesto and got shot.
That would make headlines, though.
It would.
That would make headlines. Anyway, so that's basically my story. Caleb has multiple articles, and from what I've heard so far, not a whole lot. There are some pretty interesting ones. We'll go in whatever order you want to go in. Tell me the stories.
All right. One's just a little snippet because I haven't read it, but for all of you Sci-Fi Channel fans, and the third Sharknado movie has been announced and the place is Orlando, Florida.
Of course. I got Loot Crate a couple days ago. They had a book in there, kind of like the zombie survival guide. How to survive a Sharknado. It is that big. It is that thick.
It's an inch thick for all of you who can't see it.
Yeah. Radio. But yeah. Wow!
Visual comedy. Perfect medium.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is... there's not a lot to say about Sharknado at this point. They're riding this wave.
Yeah.
This tornado. Upspurt, really, at that point. Isn't it? It's an upspurt if the tornado touches water.
Well, we could go into that, or we could go to the next article.
Yeah. Fox is hit with a $250 million Simpsons lawsuit by Goodfellas actor.
Million.
Frank Severo says that The Simpsons ripped off Frankie Cabrone, his character he played in Goodfellas, and wants to be paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
He has a detailed 5-claim in complaint, in which the claims are like 12 pages long and detailed, saying that he created the role of Frankie. He wrote the character, I believe, also. And that the character of Louie, the Fat Tony's minion, I can't think of a word, sickness, that Louie looks a lot like Frankie, and acts like him too.
Mm-hmm.
So they're, what was it? It's down here. $50 million in for damages of loss of his likeliness. $50 million in actual loss of improper application of plaintiff's confidential idea. $50 million more in productive economic advantage, industrial typecasting, and promotion from the Profit franchise.
Yep.
And then $100 million for basically that too.
Yeah. A lot of shows, especially like The Simpsons. I read about they did like Simpsons in like a bunch of different cartoon styles. Was that in response, or is that just a coincidence?
I think that's just a coincidence.
All I know is that a lot of shows like this have to satirize pop culture in order to be popular in the time. Even if it wasn't a full-fledged satirization, which it probably was, that's parody. That is allowed. That is legal.
Because it says Louis made his first appearance in 91. Goodfellas came out in 90. And
Yeah, so it's topical and relevant at the time, and is rather late. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what the statute of limitations as far as
there really isn't
time
one.
period. There are only a few crimes that don't have that applied to them, and most of them are felony level. But in the day and age where you can sue anyone over anything, yeah. But anyway, so this guy's going to lose. It's going to be a defining thing for this Frankie fella. See, I didn't mean to do that. And they're gonna make fun of it on The Simpsons and every other cartoon. Like Family Guy's gonna do a thing about it. The Jetsons? No.
The Jetsons.
The show that ended in '66.
They're gonna come back just to make fun of it.
A one-off special. All right, so they're gonna. This guy's gonna lose. There's no way he's gonna win this. Anyway, so what's the next one? Unless you have
I do.
anything to put in.
It is Robert Morton College in Chicago, Illinois, is establishing a esports scholarship.
Yeah,
with varsity teams.
Yeah, and I'm interested in this. Like, what is it? Like sports games, or is it just gaming in general?
No, it is League of Legends, Dota. What is it? StarCraft. Really, anything the Koreans play.
Whoa!
Competitively, and if you're a gamer, you understand that.
Yeah.
Extensively.
Mm-hmm.
They're creating varsity teams to go up against other colleges and whatnot to boost up what they can get. Because I've seen some of where they do it competitively, and you can go there and watch. There are thousands of people that show up. It's a good way to boost the thing, and a good way to get people to come to your college too.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's $7,000 scholarship.
Wow, that's practically a full ride.
Yeah, because it's a sports scholarship. And
dang, man, that's not only is this groundbreaking in terms of what we allow in schools to be considered a sport, or at least an e-sport, of what is warranting of a scholarship, but geez, I'm not good at any of those games, but I'm almost willing to just try out. I'd like train first, but Chicago is the place to be for like voice acting in the Midwest if you can't make it to the coast, or if you have no good connections or aren't grandfathered into Kansas City, because it's a hub for those who are already there.
Yeah,
you can't break out into freaking voice acting in Kansas City, or at least.
And I think the ones down by the Gulf Coast, you have to like start out as an intern doing something totally different.
Yeah. That's one thing. I've been following Funimation, like when they're going to post a job and all that. I don't know how that would work out. Anyway, so that's interesting. I really like this. This is good. This is cool.
Good school. All right, and this is the last one. It's the one we were talking about earlier during the break. Authorities are investigating whether 3 teenage girls from suburban Denver, who may have been trying to join the Islamic State militants in Syria,
ISIS, in case you don't know,
have friends or associates with similar intentions. And I'm going to whittle this down. And they've 2 sisters, ages 17 and 15, and their 16-year-old friend were headed to Syria. Though the officials say the investigations were still trying to determine what sort of contacts they had in the country, they said they wanted to figure out if they had like-minded friends or acquaintances.
Yeah.
The sisters are of Somali descent. Apparently there's a large Somali community in Denver. But the FBI stopped the girls at Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah, they left Friday. They were discovered missing on Friday. They were found on Sunday in Frankfurt, Germany. There is no flight from Denver to Frankfurt. Not only did they probably have to take a flight to like New York or something, but they also had to get from New York to probably Spain.
Then through customs.
Through customs. They had passports, but no adult was accompanying them.
And it is said that the Germans stopped them, and because they were giving vague answers on what they were who they were meeting.
Yeah, because they were juveniles, so they only stopped them because there was no adult. So like, well, where's your adult? Well, we don't have one. Well,
are you going to go meet one? Yes. Who? Family. Can you give us a name? Family. That is literally what they told well, not literally. It is what...
The general idea of that. So they detained them in order to find out what they found their passports.
And then the FBI... Then it was reported to the government, and the FBI stepped in.
Mm-hmm, because these are reported missing people found in Frankfurt.
That is... No, it's... L.A. is more of a human trafficking. I think it's third on biggest human trafficking ports, L.A. But human trafficking, just stopping that in general.
Yeah. So, yeah. And they only found out because they were like, well, where's your adult? And like, at this point, that's an attentive thing. That's practically an accident. If that worker, whoever did it, was like one, didn't think, well, maybe they just look young, or two, were like getting off work or something, or they were heading to the bathroom, probably wouldn't have noticed, or whatever. I don't know what part of the airport they were found in.
No. Oh, if I had to take a guess, I'd say they were being processed.
Yeah, so they were already... ticket, all that stuff. They're heading that way.
They're just like, why'd you come to Germany?
That's practically chat.
Yeah.
That is... They were 2 steps away. They were going from Frankfurt to Syria, and Syria...
No, they were going
Frankfurt
from
to Turkey, then Turkey to Syria. That is 2 flights away.
Not even. You could take like a bus.
Yeah. And from before that, they have gone through... Gotta be at least 2 airports. This is, oh my god.
It's very terrifying just on that. I had no idea how far you could get out of really anywhere in the world with only $2,000.
Yeah, they were carrying $2,000 in cash.
Which is suspicious on its own.
Like, where? Because they just they were faking sick from home. So remember this, parents. If your kids are saying that they're sick, they may be ISIS sympathizers, and you not only send them to school, but make them sleep at school, and
where they can be watched 24/7.
Pack them wheat bread sandwiches
with pork.
With pork.
ISIS, Islamic.
Oh, I wasn't going with that. I was just going... Whoa. I was going with just crappy lunch.
Crappy lunch? That would be...
Because I hate wheat bread.
Barley? It's a bit below wheat.
Well, that's almost intentional.
That's intentional.
You can just have wheat bread. You have to go out and get... But you
barley
just
bread.
Naturally...
You can find barley bread. I think I've had barley bread.
Well, I wasn't going with the offending their religion thing.
Oh, that's not... I don't think that's offensive. It's in the rules.
It's in the rules to not eat... Whatever.
To not eat pork. They're not supposed to eat pork.
So if you gave them and forced them to eat a sandwich with pork...
You don't have to eat most of the stuff. You've seen high school. No one forces you to eat. You don't have lunch? Too bad.
Yeah.
That's my college... Even my college experience is like that. You don't have food?
They don't care.
No one really cares.
At least your school has the common decency to have like a grocery mart.
Yeah, we have a convenience store.
You can just go there and get ramen. Get 2 packets of ramen and then just like for what, $1 or something?
Yeah, it's like they're 75 cents.
Yeah, so for like $2, you can get 2 things of ramen, be full. Or at least satisfied.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy, but we're in college. We can't afford anything. That trumps health.
I know, right? I was looking at the sandwiches there and was like, I remember when there was a sandwich for like $1. Now it's $5.
Yep. But anyway,
The
so
poor boy was more expensive.
I
I
remember
could
that.
afford.
Anyway, so when we come back from this next break, we're going to go through one article, and then we're going to go back into the analysis of the epic rap battles of history. Not going to get all the way through season 2, but we'll get as far as we can. Anyway, so we're going to start with "Here I Go Again" by White Snake.
That's a White Snake song?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then we're going to go to Johnny Cash, because we did last time. We got to do it again. "One Piece at a Time." It's a song we didn't do last time. And then the last one's going to be the 10-second songs 20 style cover of Linkin Park's "In the End."
Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Trying to remember who that was. Not Linkin Park, but the 20 Styles guy.
His name is Anthony Vincent.
Anthony Vincent.
Anyway, so yeah, those are what we're going to listen
Very
to.
Italian name.
Well, yeah.
Anthony
He
Vincent.
lives in New York, too.
See, that's a bit offensive.
All right, thank y'all for listening. I'm Jacob.
I'm Caleb.
I'm offensive. So is he. He's more offensive. I'd argue you're more offensive. Anyway, so see you later. Yeah.
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 Puppets.
Yeah. All right. So welcome back to the bar here on Kansas Stadium. God dang it, Caleb. But
I can cough directly in the mic if it makes you feel
it
better.
sounded like you did.
No, I did.
Oh, you're right next to it. That's so much better. But anyway.
Do you want me to like turn around and be like, I'm fine, homie.
Okay, I mentioned that I had an article that we're going to get to before we start overanalyzing the epic rap battle of history. This article, the title.
Mm.
Wife of semi-pro golfer allegedly shoots boy toy gay friend from her bedroom and took a selfie of... Okay, and then what is it? Andrew Knoll, a 23-year-old bartender at a gay bar in Tampa, took a selfie of himself as he lay bleeding on the bedroom floor from a gunshot wound to the chest.
Why?
Well, let's read on, shall we?
Just like, peace.
Yeah.
One last selfie.
Going down. The wife of semi-pro golfer nearly killed her boy toy when she allegedly fired a shot at his chest as he entered her bedroom unannounced this summer in Tampa, Florida. And he took a selfie of himself as he lay there bleeding on her floor. Mache Simpson.
Mache.
Simpson.
Mache.
Mishay. Mache Simpson, a 28-year-old with a daughter, had kept her relationship to 23-year-old Andrew Knoll a secret by telling her husband, semi-pro golfer Rhett Simpson, that Knoll was her gay friend. The couple had met the young man earlier this year at a nearby gay bar, where Knoll had worked as a bartender, according to a report this week. Their discreet relationship turned sour when Simpson said Knoll began stalking her and threatened to hurt her family. Her side dish is still alive. That's what they called him. Her side dish is still alive after surviving a gunshot to the chest in August that exited his back and pierced a painting on the wall in the house. Guy had a bullet go through him, and he's fine.
Well, I think it's better for it to go through him than it to stay in him.
Well, it twists while it's in you. The difference is having a wound, I don't know, having to pull something out of it or jostling versus having a second wound, an exit wound. Both suck. I don't know which one's worse. When officers arrived at the scene, they found Knoll lying on the second-story floor of Simpson's home with a single gunshot wound to his chest, read a police statement. Knoll was transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
So where would he pierce his chest? What do you count as the chest? Is it the torso?
I would count above the belly and up, stopping at the right before your arms start.
Maybe his shoulder then?
Maybe,
I don't know why
maybe
they wouldn't say his shoulder.
Maybe in the side. I don't know.
Can't think of a real good place to shoot someone where it's non-life-threatening in the chest.
That goes through him.
Yeah.
Apparently, their secret relationship was known to all except for the husband, who had been out of town, perhaps putting from the green when Noel was shot. Noel's former roommate said in the report that the only person in Tampa that does not know about the affair is Michelle's husband. He described Noel to police as being a little slow and said he was suffering from emotional problems. It goes on for a little bit. I'll try to paraphrase. He did not confirm that Simpson visited their apartment multiple times. He did confirm that Simpson visited their apartment multiple times. On one occasion, the roommate said he heard them having sex.
The neighbors?
Noel had tattooed Michelle next to a pair of lips on his buttock.
Why?
Because he needed to remind who he was screwing.
Can you see on the tattoo on your butt?
In a mirror.
It's more like, while I'm getting naked, let's remind other people.
They had exchanged countless text messages that included a treasure trove of lurid material, according to Lurid. I think that's a typo.
Yeah.
What was it? Noel had indicated to her in one of the many texts they exchanged that he wants to spend the rest of his life with her, but Simpson responded, "One day, if you change," with just a U, "I hope you do. The day you change, I will leave him for you."
Change to what?
I don't know, but...
To not a bartender in a gay bar?
Maybe.
Maybe go to, like, Benihana, get an upgrade.
Skipping ahead a bit, it says, on the night of the shooting, she allegedly told him that her husband was out of town and that she was going to bed. Noel told police that he thought it was another invitation to come over. The alarm code he had previously been using didn't work when he walked into her house that night, but he proceeded anyway. After she fired him with a 9mm Ruger, the Daily Mail reported that he called 911 to report he had been shot. She called 911 to report an intruder. Noel's history with women, and on one occasion a man, is well documented. In January, around the same time he had met Simpson, he had asked a female neighbor out on a date, but okay, this is boring, blah, 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 blah. Noel was reportedly arrested in 2011 for domestic battery. Noel attended domestic violence diversion program, and the charges were later dropped. Okay. Well, I guess that happened. Okay.
What happened in the world today? Someone got shot in the chest and took a selfie.
Yeah. All right. So, moving on from that, I believe next is the Epigraphical of History deal, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, and this time we're not going to try to rush through them. We can make this thing last a while. We got through all of Season 1 before, and we're not going to get through all of Season 2 in the next, 20 minutes. So, and not even that, because after this next break is the last segment of the show. This one was extremely fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, it's already 6:11. That's insane. First things first, Hitler versus Vader 2.
This one had
He got thawed from carbonite and wound up with him getting dropped in a pit, I believe.
Yeah, with the Rancor pit.
Yeah. You want to start or shall I?
You start. I have to remember.
I personally thought that it was so unnecessary, but this point in time, first of all, Vader's voice was less impressive, but Hitler's jokes were less offensive, which, considering you're playing Hitler, is a negative. Because they had done so well with the first one as far as Hitler's lines are concerned, because if you don't remember, we said Hitler won the last one. In this time around, whenever they did it, it felt like they were just trying to replay it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And in my opinion, this time it didn't. I think Vader had a lot better lines this time around. I think this is where the idea of Hitler's always going to die came back. I don't think it needed to have happened, but either way, my opinion, I think Vader won.
I didn't really hear a good difference between the voices of the Vaders, personally, but I'm remembering from something I probably did like three or 4 months ago. But the Hitler's jokes did decline in severity and kind of like, oh-ness.
Yeah. So we agree?
Yeah, but Vader's jokes weren't that funny either. It was like, it's going to sound kind of stupid. It was choosing between a lesser of two evils.
All right, next one. Quick note. When they previewed the second season of Epic Rap Battle of History, they had one with Shay Carl in some sort of kingly outfit. It looked like he was going to play Henry VIII, but that never happened. Shay Carl has not been in any Epic Rap Battle. No. I want to know where that one went. Because it was practically finished, or at least one part of it, because they had it in the preview.
It might be in the 4th season now, I think.
I doubt it, considering it was teased for season 2.
Yeah.
But, apart from like tweeting at them multiple times to get the answer out of them, I might not never know. Anyway, the second one, Master Chief versus Leonidas.
Ooh, I'm going to have to go with... Well, let's explain first.
Mm-hmm.
There's, both the jokes were funny.
Mm-hmm.
They went with more of the not Meet the 300. It's a funny movie, but they went more with the 300 version of Leonidas than
because the 300 had come out recently from that.
Yeah, instead of like looking up what he acted like.
Yeah.
Like something you learn if you look up, they did cover that goat pass, except the army ran away without telling the Spartans.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought that pass was covered.
Yeah.
So he was he was smarter than what it's elaborated in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But they made him more of a macho sort of dude, but I was more imagined him as like he's the king. He fought tactically, strategically. He'd be smarter than what they portrayed him as, just a meathead.
Mm-hmm.
And in that's kind of the Napoleon Dynamite thing, like.
Yeah.
But Master Chief, his lines were iffy.
Yeah.
But really I have to give it to Master Chief because he had the one good burn, I felt like during that whole thing. Like while you were in a canyon with I think 300 other dudes, I was in your bed chamber doing your wife.
Yeah. I gotta agree with on that one. It was almost a toss-up for me. I mean, I'm not as much into the history of Leonidas and what he really was. Just the rap battle alone, both of them had good lines and both of them had bad lines. I really, really did not like the way that Master Chief closed the line. I just don't think my trigger finger's itching. When you're in a giant freaking suit doing one finger, it's not that intimidating. If he had a gun, I could see it being intimidating. And a lot of his lines centered around how people control him online, as opposed to the Master Chief character, which is well-defined in the story aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my history with Halo is I've never really played a campaign from Halo, but I've owned and played online for most of them. I've owned all of them. Online, I've played most of them. So when it comes down to that, neither character was represented really to the source material, Leonidas being reality and Master Chief being the established Halo storyline.
Especially for Master Chief, he's written as very, very quiet man.
Yeah. But as far as that's concerned, I think Leonidas was not given a whole lot of substance to work with, so I will have to agree that Master Chief won that one. I am keeping track of who we all had win, just for the sake of curiosity, looking back on it. Next one is one that I and my friends did a whole cover, technically, sort of during an episode of Jacob Versus, the Mario Brothers versus the Wright Brothers. And you started the last one, I'll start this one, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't like what they did with the Mario Brothers. They could have... Mario didn't really talk, and Luigi didn't really talk, but they went over the top with it. I mean, I expect a lot out of you as far as how they represented the New Yorker Italian aspect of these characters.
South Carolina. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
It's a joke.
Because
Carolina.
you're talking about Lewis and Clark from North Carolina.
Yeah.
And so were Rhett and Link, who portrayed them, which I think is just a cool little thing. I'm a huge fan of Rhett and Link. Have been for a while. Personally, I just think that the representation of the Mario Brothers is what sank them for me. That really limited their lines. That made them just sort of angry in general. I just can't get... I really enjoyed the lines of the Wright brothers a lot more. I think they were funnier. I think they were more character driven, or at least they had better characters. I don't know. For me, the Wright brothers totally won this one.
It was mine was a bit of a toss up, but I actually watched and owned the Super Mario movie.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that can show dedication to anyone who's ever heard of that movie.
Yeah.
They went with pulling from the idea that Mario and Luigi are Italian Americans from New York, so they're going to be a bit more in your face, but they didn't pull from what the game the game is really kind of set up at the turn of the century more than anything else, because I think it's originally Mario was a carpenter and he became a plumber because he couldn't find work.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's more of a turn of the century thing when you couldn't find work as a carpenter.
Yeah.
But so they went with more of a newer Italian American kind of New Jersey-ish aspect.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I liked some of their lines, but they were more obnoxious than really anything. And the Wright brothers had a lot more substance behind their thing, so I'm going to go with the Wright brothers as well.
All right, and we really don't have any more time for this. We got through 3.
3.
We went through the whole season last time. Of course, we spent more than one section of the show on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Because unlike that show, we didn't talk about one section of just technical.
Hey, I didn't think we had anything else to talk about when that was... If I knew we had, like...
This is why we need to
buku
discuss
information.
this before. No, all we did was sit here and watch videos, and I played Phoenix, right?
Yeah. Also, we did get a response to the question, which will be answered after the articles on the last one. A response... it's hard to talk into this thing and read off the computer at the same time. They said, an answer to the question, which, if you will repeat, Caleb.
What is red and bad for your teeth?
They responded, hot coals are red and bad for your teeth. Also, probably the blood of baby orphans. Happy near Halloween.
The blood of near orphans?
Of baby orphans. Happy near Halloween.
Okay. I was like, what's a near orphan? Just any orphan near you that's also a baby.
Like one parent's dead, the other one's sort of distant. But anyway, sorry.
It's all right.
So, yeah, that's that. I'll save this. Vader won, Master Chief won, and the Wright brothers
By
won.
the way, we appreciate the enthusiasm, but you are wrong.
Yeah.
Hot coals are also white. White hot coals.
White hot coals are white.
Yeah,
like
and then they
with
start
the
to turn
smoke.
white.
Well, with the ash.
Yeah.
The ash is white. When you burn them, they're like black and glowy red. That glowy red when the fire's inside of something. It's like, ooh.
And I don't think Jacob would ever let me say that the answer was As orphan blood.
I would have a problem, not with the fact that you said it, but if you just sprung it on me, I'd be like, dude! Yeah. But anyway, so for this music break, we got Snow Patrol's Chasing Cars. Then we're going to play Surrender by Cheap Trick. And then the last one will be...
Surrender by Cheap Trick, the only Guitar Hero song I could do on, what is it, Legendary?
Yeah. And then the last one will be, what? Oh, Take On Me by Aha. 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 Thank y'all for listening. I'm Jacob.
I'm Caleb, and this is all of the above.
Have a good one. All right, everybody. Sorry about the unexpected song. That was The District Sleeps Alone Tonight by the Postal Service. We had to take care of some stuff, but now we're back. Listen to all the above here at KROO Kansas City, MKC Studio.
That's Jacob, and I'm Caleb.
Yes, indeed. So now it's time for me to test Caleb's ability to tell if I'm lying.
Is it bunk or is it true?
Yeah, bunker.
Bunker Buster.
Bunker Buster. Interesting. We will work on it, but that might
If
be
you
it.
have ideas, text us here.
Yeah, because at least one of you is. All right, so
And their roommate likes our music.
yeah. All right, so I got 2 articles to test Caleb. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna get through these. I'll try to give as much information as I can, but if I read things wrong, please forgive me. All right. First one's called Man Ransacks Abandoned Gas Station to Get Condoms. So you know we're starting off good. At 2:37 a.m., local police received a call reporting that a man, later identified as Mr. Sean Douglas, was seen breaking into a local abandoned gas station with a car running outside with a girl inside keeping the car on. Police intercepted the car as it was about to leave. Chase ensued and led to the arrest of Douglas and his now ex-fiance. Dang, man.
Broken up over condoms.
I'm surprised how good audio you're getting through that mask. He's wearing one of the Annabelle masks, and it sounds fine.
Yeah. It's only like
A little muffled.
a centimeter of cardboard. It's mainly so I don't sneeze on this, because I have to be like right here.
All right. Where's my place? Douglas confessed to having broken into the gas station, but wouldn't say why. His ex-fiancée, however, convinced that his intent was to find an old pack of condoms to use on their honeymoon after they were planning to elope later that night. Quotes, "I'm glad he was caught," she told police. "It was a stupid plan to begin with. They probably wouldn't have worked anyway." That's her main concern.
That the condoms wouldn't have worked. Wait, why is she glad he was caught? They could have just been like, these are expired. They're probably not going to work. Let's go to a store. Steal it the old-fashioned way.
Douglas pled guilty to breaking and entering, and his ex-accomplice pled guilty to assisting in breaking and entering. All right, so that was the first one. Pull up this one here. Oh, that's the other one. I was about to start reading the article I already read about the semi-golfer, semi-pro golfer. He's only a semi-golfer. Now,
Then the first one.
all right, the second one is called Burger King Customer Buys Restaurant's 23 Remaining Apple Pies to Teach Screaming Child Indifferent Mom a Lesson. You like that, huh? The boy was reportedly yelling and punching his mom, who didn't seem to be worried about this behavior, leading a man to teach him a lesson, even though it cost him $35. Burger King customer bought all 23 remaining apple pies in a restaurant to spite the mother and screaming child behind him in line. The man posted on Reddit that the young boy was screaming and demanding a pie, while his mother was on the phone and ignoring her child's request. The kid was out of control, screaming, punching his mother, throwing around a Game Boy whenever something didn't go right in the game, he posted on the website. She gets up in my face telling me I can't tell her nothing about raising her child, and
Nothing.
And to mind my own business, he said, after he told her to settle the child. Kid
Settle that child.
The kid screamed, "I want some effing pie," to which the man then decided to ruin their day by buying every remaining apple pie at the cost of $35. Those are your articles.
Well, with the child screaming, "I want my effing pie," I can't imagine that happening because my mama would have gotten off the phone.
Your mama would have laid the smack down, layeth the smacketh down.
She would have knocked some sense into my head for cursing in public.
Mm.
Or cursing at all at that point.
Yeah.
Taking this off. Because it's getting hot under there.
It's getting hot in there. So take off your Annabelle mask.
Alright, where was the first one?
The first one was Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida.
If I remember. Wait a minute, let me check that. Yeah, Tampa, Florida. The second one, because I know you're going to ask this one, was New York.
I'm going to say the second one was real, because I can see someone doing that personally.
The second one was real?
Yeah, where he bought all the apple pies.
You could see someone doing that?
Yeah, just to spite someone.
Mm-hmm.
And really, at that point, I would...
The cursing and all?
Yeah. Squeakers are a thing on live games.
What?
Squeakers. Little kids cursing at you.
Oh. Well, if it was on like a Game Boy, it wasn't on Xbox Live or anything.
Yeah, but you know he had an Xbox. No. But the first one is an abandoned gas station. Yes, they're a thing, but generally they're empty. Even the gas pumps are gone in abandoned gas stations.
Most of them.
So I'm going to go with the first one is fake.
All right. I'm going to play a news report, and this news report will be about the real one. After the ad. I'm muting the ad.
At least it isn't Spotify where it's like, oh, you turned off the sound? I guess the ad is paused too.
Yeah. Okay. All right, there we go. It was Farmers Insurance.
What might be hiding in your coverage at
Okay, Farmers, whatever. Okay, here we go. So yeah,
I was
congratulations, man. You
I
got
did.
it. I got to admit, I had not heard about that story until yesterday. Bree pointed me in the direction of that. I had not heard about it. There is not video of it happening. Well, as far as I was able to find, there might be security footage somewhere. But as far as I know, that is amazing. And yeah,
23 pies are only $30.
Yeah.
23 plus a meal.
Yeah. So speaking of which, you bought me
I won. You're buying me dinner.
we got rid of the punishments, and I'm hungry.
Well, I'm broke.
So am I. I'm broker than you. I'm broker than you, man. Oh, what is he doing? Yeah, I can do that too.
Empty.
Yeah, he pulled out his wallet and was like, "Ooh,
It's empty, and I have no credit cards whatsoever. I don't have a line of credit.
you ain't got a line of credit." But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Either way, good job, man. That's all for. Oh, answer. Give us the answer to the question. The question was,
What's red and bad for your teeth?
and when the answer is,
The answer is a brick.
yeah, it's not good for your teeth.
No.
A brick.
But if you want to acquaint someone's face with it, it's very good therapeutically.
Yeah, it is.
But the police will be called, and
Yeah, and then it'd just be this whole mess. Either way, so that
after a fine and maybe a few days in jail, you'll feel a lot better.
yeah, I literally came up with that ransacking condoms thing.
Woohoo! I know my abandoned buildings.
I came up with that literally while we were sitting here in the quiet. I had 20 minutes before the show. I was just like, I need a thing. And and then I did it. I'm also apparently getting criticized for saying I don't have any food and I'm hungry because of the mashed potato run I took with my girlfriend yesterday, to which I will respond, there is only one left. I had to eat this morning, too.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah. I had breakfast and lunch was mashed potatoes. And she's also telling you not to buy me dinner.
I can't buy him dinner.
Yeah,
I can't buy myself dinner either.
Yeah, so thank you, Bri. You're so domestic problems. We will be on Leno. He didn't even have a show anymore, but we will find him and force him.
It's just going to be a YouTube video.
Yeah, it's going to be a YouTube video of him.
Like, what are you doing in my house?
All right, so.
You never get that. I make you breakfast. It's a nice homemade breakfast. What do you get? Not a thank you, just a who are you and how'd you get in here?
That's all. That's all for the show. Thank you for listening.
To all of the above, hosted by Caleb and Jacob.
Yeah.
Alphabetically, if you're wondering. As you stared at me.
Nah, that's fine, man.
Why are you breathing into the mic?
What Sarah Said, Death Cab for Cutie, and Where Are You Now, Mumford & Sons. Those will be your last songs. Thank y'all for listening. I had a good time. I hope you did too. Caleb, I think you had a good time. Will you let me know?
I did have a good time.
I appreciate that.
I'm a warrior! Oh!
Where's that love and lotion at? Thank you for listening.
If you get that reference, you're as terrified as I am.
Have a good one, y'all.
And we're out.
Yeah, we're out?
I think so.
We're done?
We're done.
The music is playing.
This is it. Just
This is
music.
All right.
Listen to that. That great piano riff.
Oh, there's drums. We better get out of here. Dead drums are here. Thank you all for listening.